So we're going to be juicing. Over here, I have cucumbers. June became my reset month. I was able to lose about 5 to 6 kg. Hi guys, welcome back to this channel. I know it's been a minute and I've really missed sitting down here and talking to you guys, and I have missed creating these longer videos. A lot has happened over the past month, and instead of having to explain everything in separate videos, so I thought I would bring you along to one of the most intentional months I've had in a very long time. June became my reset month. I changed the way I ate. I stopped drinking soda completely. I started making all my meals from scratch. I became so disciplined with my routines, and somehow, without trying to rush the process, I was able to lose about 5 to 6 kg. So today I'm taking you through everything that happened in the month of June, from intentional grocery shopping to making Greek yogurt for the first time with just 2 simple ingredients, creating fresh juices, work events, and everything in between. So let's get right into it. One of the biggest things that I did differently in June was, being intentional about what I was eating. I was not trying another quick fix or some very unrealistic diet. I just wanted to make better choices and see where they would take me. So before the month really got going, what I did was stock up my kitchen with foods that I knew would actually help me stay consistent. And that trip to the grocery store was where it all started. I noticed that whenever I had healthy options at home, I was less likely to order food or snack on things that I did not really need. So this grocery haul was very different from what I would normally buy. I was able to pick up things like eggs, Greek yogurts, oat milk, oatmeal, cream crackers, honey, some of my favorite teas, olive oil, lemons, and some apples. So that was basically it. It was nothing fancy, but honestly, just simple foods that I actually enjoy eating. So, one thing I've learned is that healthy eating becomes a lot easier when you make preparations for it. If your kitchen is filled with foods that support your goals, trust me, you're already making the next good decision easier. But if it's filled with junks, you're definitely going to be far from your goal. So, looking back now, this grocery trip was probably one of the best decisions that I made all month because it helped me stay really consistent. Another thing I've not mentioned yet is just how committed I was to my diet throughout the month of June. I was on a very strict low carb diet and I took it seriously. I completely stopped eating swallow and I only had rice twice the entire month. So most of my meals were built around proteins, vegetables, healthy fats, and just enough carbs from, foods like oats, fruits, and a few other healthy options. So because of that, Greek yogurt quickly became one of the things I reached for almost every single morning. So whether I was having it with oats, fresh fruits, chia seeds, or just on its own, it became a regular part of my breakfast. But if you've ever bought Greek yogurt consistently, then you already know it doesn't come cheap. So instead of removing it from my diet, I decided to learn how, I could make it myself. And honestly, I'm so glad that I did. The amazing thing is that it only takes two main ingredients, which is your milk and your yogurt culture. So for this batch, I started with 8 cups of milk and I diluted it with 8 cups of room temperature water. I gave it a really good whisk until everything was nicely combined. Then I added another 8 cups of hot boiling water because I had to wait for it to get to 100 degrees Celsius, and then I whisked again. Now, here's a little tip that I learned, and I think is one of the reasons mine came out so well. So before I added my yogurt culture, I made sure that the milk was not too hot. I usually do like a quick 10-second finger test. If you can comfortably leave your finger in the milk for about 10 seconds, then the temperature is just about right. So another important tip is not to pour the culture directly into the bowl of milk. So instead, what I did was scoop out a little of the milk into a separate bowl and then I poured the culture there, whisked it until it was completely smooth, and then I poured the back into the rest of the milk. Mixes much more evenly that way, and you're more likely to get a smooth, consistent yogurt. So once everything was well combined, what I did was transfer them into two bowls because I already knew I wanted to make both a sweetened and an unsweetened version. So to help it ferment properly, I wrapped up the bowls in thick blankets after pouring the milk, and then I placed them inside my oven. The oven wasn't turned on at all. It was just a warm, insulated place for the yogurt to be able to culture. Then the hardest part came, which was waiting. I had to leave it in the oven for like 10 to 12 hours overnight. So by the next morning, I was honestly excited to see if it had worked. And thankfully, it had set beautifully. Now I could have just stopped there because at that stage, I had my homemade yogurt, but what I wanted was Greek yogurt. So I had to strain it through a cheesecloth to be able to separate the whey from the yogurt. Watching the whey slowly drain out while the yogurt became thicker was honestly so satisfying. So once it had strained enough, I gave it one final whisk until it became smooth and creamy. Then I divided it into two bowls again. One stayed completely plain because I like having unsweetened Greek yogurt for different meals and recipes. For the second one, I added about 3 spoonfuls of sugar, just enough to give it a light sweetness without making it overly sweet. And you guys, I genuinely could not believe that this was my first attempt. Both versions came out so creamy, so fresh, and it tasted so much better than I expected. What started as a way to save money became one of the best things I learned all month. I've made several more batches since then, and I honestly don't think I'll be going back to store bought Greek yogurts. Looking back, learning how to make my own Greek yogurt was definitely one of my biggest wins in June. Now I'm already thinking maybe I should try the homemade granola next. What do you guys think? Let's look out for that in coming videos. If there's one habit that completely changed the game for me in June, it was giving up soda. From the very first day of the month, I decided I was not going to any soft drinks at all. I knew it was not going to be easy because sometimes you don't even realize how often you reach for a bottle of soda until you decide to stop. So instead of focusing on what I was given, I focused on what I could replace it with. That was when I started making fresh juices at home, and honestly, I enjoyed the process more than I even expected. So my favorite green juice was made with cucumber, spinach, green apples, ginger, and lemon. And of course, I added some black pepper for that spice. And my favorite red juice was made with watermelon, beetroot, red apples, ginger, and lemon, as well as some black pepper to also give it that spice. I wasn't looking this because I thought there were some magic weight loss drink. I simply wanted something fresh, something nourishing, and something that would stop me from craving food. And after a while, I noticed that I was not thinking about soft drinks anymore. And Chris Bros had, started to adjust, and that was a really good feeling. When I look back at June, I don't think it was just one thing that helped me lose weight. It was everything working together with grocery shopping at the beginning of the month, learning to make my own Greek yogurt, planning my own meals, eating more protein and vegetables, cutting out swallow completely, only eating rice twice throughout the month, replacing soda with fresh juices. None of these things felt dramatic on their own, but together they help me stay consistent. And that's probably my biggest lessons that I learned. While June was such a big month for my personal goals, it was also a really exciting month at work because we launched a brand new event called Frequency. Planning actually started around the second week of June, and because it was the very first edition, there was a lot to think about. We wanted to create an experience that people would genuinely enjoy and remember. So everyone on the team gave it their best. Meetings, brainstorming sessions, site visits, supplier follow up, and lots of back and forth to make sure every single detail came together. It was one of those projects where everyone had a part to play, and it was amazing seeing different people bring their ideas to life. D Day arrived, and of course, just when everything was set up, it started to rain. And for a moment, I think everyone wondered how the night was going to go. But the amazing thing was that the rain did not even stop the excitement. People still came out, the energy never dropped, and once the music started, it was obvious we had created something special. For anyone who has never experienced a silent disco before, it's honestly such a unique experience. Everyone wears wireless headphones and gets to switch between three different DJs, each playing a different genre of music at the same time. So you see one group singing, maybe they're dancing to Afrobeat or singing Afrobeat, another group singing Amapiano, and maybe another one singing old school. So it's always such a lovely experience. And if you take your headphones off, it's almost completely quiet. It's such a fun thing to witness. So many other side attractions. There were dancers who brought in their incredible energy. There was also a magician on the side who was entertaining guests. There was face painting for anyone who wanted to get creative, and even a tattoo artist for people who wanted to leave with something memorable from the night. Seeing the venue come alive after weeks of planning was honestly one of my favorite moments in June. Watching people dance, laugh, make videos, and simply enjoy themselves made all the hard work worth it.
Stop. 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 Stop.
L- Looking back now, June wasn't perfect. There were busy days, there were tiring days, and there were moments where staying disciplined wasn't easy. But I'm proud that I kept showing up through it all. Sometimes the biggest changes don't happen because of one massive decision. They happen because of hundreds of tiny choices that we make every day. And I think June reminded me of that. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. I'd genuinely love to know, how did your June go? Did you start something new? Did you hit any goals, or are you still working towards them? Let's talk in the comment because I always enjoy hearing from you guys. If you enjoyed this vlog, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notification because there are a lot more lifestyle, wellness, and behind the scene videos coming your way. So, bye guys, and see you on the next one.